Hey, we're live. Hi, everyone. Hi, guys.
Hello.
How is everyone doing?
Very good.
Awesome. Excellent. Let's give it, I don't know, maybe 1, 2 minutes for everyone to come in. I know that we're operating on different timelines. We have from all over the world here. Let me put a couple of comments. David, hi, David from Toronto. Um, it's day there in Toronto. I presume it's night here on our side for some of us. Vito, you're located in UK, right?
In the UK, so it's already evening. The kids are
Evening.
screaming upstairs on their way to bed.
It's fine. You'll hear screams from my from the other room as well from my kids. So I'm glad I will not be the only one. Hey, Mattia from Italy. Nice to see everyone here. We've gathered tonight to have this nice discussion and webinar. And I've prepared a couple of slides only because it will be a fireside chat mostly. Welcome everyone. This is the, how do we call it, the Doom Quarter webinar, where we talk about basically the most stressful and chaotic and maybe sleep depriving 3 months of the year. I'm glad I've got you guys here and got you from your work to talk about this. I'm Dimi. I'm a CEO and co-founder of Brizy, and today we'll basically cut the sugar coating and talk about what agency actually go through. If you are here, you already know the truth. Q4 is not a quarter; is a sort of a survival sport, or how do you say it? Clients wake up with from hibernation, projects suddenly everything becomes urgent, budgets appear, everything needs to be done yesterday. We all know exactly how it goes. So today, basically, it's a real conversation amongst friends, and we'll try to cut the theory and fluff and share some of our experiences, some pain points, some tools, some systems that we're using to deal with this quarter. That is why basically I brought more smart people than me here tonight. I brought together these three incredible panelists who lived through more agencies in their lifetime in a different capacity or another than is probably healthy. And we're talking operational chaos, team burnout, client pressure, the real AI impact, and this is something interesting that I want to touch on, and how agencies can not only survive at the end of the year, but actually thrive. Let's jump right into it. I have a couple of slides here, and this is a great segue into our panelist here. We have Nikolai, which is the founder and CEO of Create Go. Nikolai's digital agency delivered over 2,000 websites across 50 countries, and they are working inside the agency with small businesses to large enterprises and even government institutions. We have Alex. He's the co-founder and CEO of Promocrat. Alex is a strong advocate of growth marketing and is working with ambition companies to design and scale their growth function. He's working with a lot of agencies, and he has actually pioneered some Silicon Valley inspired practices in Romania, creating success stories that put some of our startups on the global map. Vito is the founder and CEO of Atarim. Vito's journey, actually, you can see his guitars in the background there. Vito's journey started on the road, actually, literally on the road, because he was building WordPress websites back in the days when he was traveling and touring as a rock musician. So maybe you'll tell us a bit more about that, Vito. He founded Atarim, a leading visual collaboration platform transforming how creative teams work, based on 6 specialist AI agents that they call them inner circle. Something very, very cool. We'll touch on those as well. Guys, thank you very much for being here. Before I start with some opening questions, please know that we have the chat here, and everyone can ask questions, and we will have a short Q&A session at the end if you want to ask our panelists here some questions, and we'll put it on the screen and try to address them. We'll also have some promos, some nice freebies for you further down the line. I have prepared a couple of questions here to get the discussion started. And I think it would make sense to start with sort of a honest version from you guys on how Q4 actually looks like in your company or agency, and how does it differ sort of from the rest of the year. I know that from our side, Q4 has a very different energy. Everything is very urgent. Timelines shrink. Everything is it becomes a top priority. So I would love to hear how it looks from your side. Who wants to start? Maybe Alex, Vito, Nikolai. Just Vito, go.
Okay, so first of all, nice to meet you guys. Good to see you, Dimi, as well. Uh, um, at the agency, this was it depends on the year, really, and I think it was more from a perspective of it took me a few years to get to know how that flow happens, or that seasonality that happens within the agency space. And it's a different perspective than when you're going from a freelancer to an agency, and then from an agency to a scaled up where you have like team members to take care of, and so the stakes are even higher through that game. And now it's a different perspective as a product company. There's different perspective to it, but I think that the first thing that happened is that we didn't have enough work on the last quarter, and then that was a challenge in its own right. And later on, I learned how to kind of focus and make sure that I always have a nice backlog with existing customers, exactly for these downtimes. That you can reach back and say, like, how about we revive this thing that you mentioned in a call once, a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago. Maybe now it's time to do it. So we always had a little pool, or we built up a little pool of ideas and projects that our clients expressed to us, what others might call scope creep. But we embraced it and made it like a strength there. But then towards the later years of the agency is exactly what you're describing, where there's rush because you have all of these, you already have a roster of clients and they want to get projects out there. We're working a lot with e-commerce, so Black Friday is a thing,
Yeah.
with nonprofits, it was like the Q3, and then Q4 it was the e-commerce folks, and people just wanted to get things over the line before everyone leaves off for the holidays. So there's the challenge from both sides, and in this capacity, you just work really hard is really what we ended up doing. Didn't do anything fancier than just getting stuck in and delivering as much as we could as quickly as possible.
I mean, it's not guys, it's not a solution here where it's the magic pill. You will not do the work. The work needs to be done. This is for sure. And it's probably will be stressful and a lot of work or a lot of things to do. But it's mostly about doing it with a bit less stress and a bit more, I don't know, some processing, some tools that will help you do things more efficiently. I know that Nikolai has a bit of a different approach in terms of how he acquires clients and how he deals with them, and it will be very interesting to hear your side of things, Nikolai.
Yes, of course. Let me give you some context for our audience here. But the way we are very curious to learn about you, about your agency. If you manage an agency, how big are the agency, or your clients, what type of clients. So we'll learn from you. Who are you, and adjust our topic based on your needs. So this will be very cool.
Put it in the chat, guys. Agencies, how many clients you have, or how big you are, how many projects do you create in order to get an idea?
What struggles you have, or maybe questions to us. So I'll give you context about our agency. We started in 2009, so we have more than a decade of experience working with different types of clients, international, local governments, your big organization like UNICEF, and small companies. I think God helped us to organize our things to see what we don't need to do. So the rush or obstacles, it happens through the year as well. You can have like multiple clients, multiple services from you, and you are limited. We have like 10 people in the team, couple of are full-time, others are freelancers or working part-time. So we made a list or a bigger list of what we'll not do in the company, like what kind of services will not do, what kind of services are not profitable, or it's requiring a lot of energy from us but is not bringing a lot of value to the client, but still they want this. For example, maybe banners, they want us to design some banners. Yep, we can design banners, but it's not so profitable and not so impactful for the clients. And we try to find the what we can help them as value and the more impactful way in their business. And through our discussion, if you are interested or our audience are interested, I can show you the no lists and what we can do, or what we will say, yes, of course, this kind of projects we'll do. This one, it's tempting. It may seem like, yeah, you can take it, you can do it, you have some people in the team, but it's better to stay away and to prepare. So for this quarter, it's more easy right now. It's like, yeah, I'm going to the family and not so stressful about having so many small and unproductive tasks what need to be done, and to make room for bigger projects or for bigger opportunities. This kind of strategy or approach we want to accomplish.
It's a great, I think it's a great approach. It's basically an idea to actually say more no than yes to some project based on the impact that can bring to your organization, and of course to your clients, the value that you'll bring in with the services. Very, very interesting, Nikolai. Thank you very much. Alex, how does the Q4 look inside your company? I know you're not an agency per se doing client work exactly, but you work with a lot of agencies with Promocrat, and I think it fits very well. Your expertise fits well here.
We do work with agencies and final clients alike. I think we serve both, and we serve a lot of services companies too, mostly B2B. So I think that kind of qualifies us for working with agencies. But first of all, I'm happy to be part of this online support group, because I think a lot of us here are workaholics, and we have to admit that some of us have weeks in which we haven't slept well. I think that's a big problem for us, and I really hope that we get to exit this discussion with new ideas on how to tackle even that side of the problem. Q4 for us is so we focus a lot on growth marketing, and we're still 100% like a services business. So we don't have any product spin-offs in the agency. We don't have any the technology part to what our offering, our core offering. We do have internal processes, but we're still 100% services. So with what Vito said, we still do things like the more traditional way of doing things in the services world. And for us, Q4 is, and year after year, we've been in the business for 12 years. We have 40 people now, so we've seen some phases of development. Q4, we call it like the make or break quarter. Mm-hmm. It's clearly the quarter that for us brings the most pressure, because you have like the most new projects. You have a lot of clients activating with all their strategic requirements and tactical requirements for Q4. You have all these events: Black Friday, Christmas, Halloween. And it's also for more enterprise clients, they have leftover budgets. They have to use them this year. So there's a lot of things happening and activating Q4. We've learned to look at it not just through the lens of the pressure, because there is extra pressure, but we need to harness that pressure in a more strategic way. We know it's the make or break quarter, because what clients we get in Q4, what success we have in Q4 will dictate what we do for the next year, more or less, in terms of strategic projects. Mm-hmm. And we call it the quarter of growth. The pressure is highest among the year, and it's like a continuous pressure. We see some similar pressure in April, May, but it's more like bursts in April, May. And we use that pressure in April, May in another way. We call it like the cash flow quarter, because what we do in April, May kind of sets us up for summer, which is lower period. We don't usually hire in summer. We have to keep our cash flow at least break even to be able to enter Q4 with the ability to do new hires, to finance new projects, because new clients are actually a cost. That's our size. They're not revenue. They're a cost. And Q4 is, for that reason, the make or break quarter.
Thank you very much. I think this is a good transition to the biggest pain point, or how to phrase this. The biggest operational headache, let's call it, maybe, that you face in Q4: clients, resources, or delivery. I know that here at Brizy, delivery issues for agency mostly arise when we see agencies use fragmented tools from different places. So centralized, I don't know, solutions with, I don't know, hosting, website building in our case, and tools that will bring everything together under one roof under Brizy Cloud, for example, tends to reduce this chaos. But I'm curious to see the biggest operational headache from your side. We go around the room again, maybe Vito, and then Nikolai, and then Alex, or...
Yeah, happy to do it for sure. Right now, the biggest in Q4, the main focus for us is wrapping things up, basically, and we have a lot of projects that sometimes lag, or sometimes are getting delayed from all kinds of different various reasons, and so this is the quarter that you just got to get everything cleaned up, and in fact, most of the quarter by design is empty, because we take into account that there's going to be some things that were kind of scope creeped in, and we want to do them later, and we're going to have some time for it towards the end of the year, or a project that ended up being more than what we thought it would be when we got into it, exploration projects and things like that. And so Q4 is really the time that everything gets just cleaned out. And I'm excited about this. From a user's perspective, it aligns very nicely because we push a lot, during this time. So it's like the holiday season manifested in SaaS. Every other day you have a new feature or a new thing that was annoying and now fixed, and all of these kind of stuff that come in. And yeah, so this is really what the main focus is. And it is definitely an operational challenge to make sure that everyone aligns together. It's also a shorter quarter than most, because the last few weeks of the year are basically gone. So there are a lot of pressure, but I like it. That's what we're all in this for. If it wasn't for this action, then it would just be like I don't know, working at a bank.
Yeah. Nikolai?
Yes. In my situation right now, because we said a lot of no to a lot of things, we leave the room for yes, of course, for other opportunities. And usually at the end of a year, it's they need to spend the budget, or they need approval for the budget, and or they applied for some grants. And in our case, we have like 4 clients, 4 big projects. We are waiting for approval. So right now we are improving our services, learning how to use AI more efficiently, trying this feature from Brizy, learning that feature, preparing new people in the team. So we kind of do some work what are not right now, are not so, let's say, profitable, but it will prepare us when these approvals will be. And usually in the December, like, hey, I need really fast this to be done until the end of the year. And that time, I need to prepare the team, like, hey, be ready right now. I'm not pressuring you to do anything. You learn, you chill, you improve some work we needed to be done in the past, but I'm keeping you, so when this will be approved, we need to deliver fast, efficient, quality. So, but it may not be approved, some of these projects, so it may be easier, and so we need to adjust. You never know how it will be in the end. Last year was crazy, like most project was approved, and we needed to agree and prioritize who will be first, who will be next. We are not a product, we offer services to the people, and people, they need to communicate. You need to approve with them, designs, or things you are doing. And so this is how, in our case, it works.
Yeah. Alex?
Yeah, for us, it's. I think we were more on the side that we have to learn from Nikolai to say no more.
No. Yes, more often.
It's a traditional problem, and but even for us, it's very hard to say no when we have like partners we work with like for 5 years, 10 years, and they
Yeah.
come up with a request. It's very hard to say no, even though you know that it will be a creating pressure delivering it. So I think that last few years, Q4 was a lot about this, about juggling, and about juggling priority, juggling things. But I had a discussion with a very good friend and entrepreneur about juggling, and he said the key to juggling is not to learn how to throw. Everyone can throw, and you can throw a lot of balls in the air. It's learning how to catch. So I think that kind of says that first of all, you need to have a very good project management on everything that you're doing, and there's a lot of ways in which you can fragment services. Maybe we'll get to talk this along to be able to have a better delivery process, even adapt new ways of delivering, and also creating that. Also wrote it in the chat that sales and delivery alignment, because there will always be inefficiency between those two. You will always have unbalance between those two. Perfect balance between those two means that you're stagnating, not growing. So you always have some sort of inefficiency in the services business between sales and delivery. And once you learn to do that balancing act, I think, and you also put in, of course, project management, and you keep a standard of quality, I think with that balancing act, things tend to work out better. But yeah, juggling is the main.
Juggling is the name of the game. Actually, catching, not juggling, right? Because
Yes.
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 how does AI change the way you guys deal with not maybe the Q4 or maybe in general compared to previous years? I know that this new AI wave. I'm going to all the events or a lot of events. You and Vito, you know better than me. You're going to all of them actually, and if you're not seeing AI plus plastered everywhere in front of the brand, after the brand, in the whatever, that you need to have AI shoved somewhere, there somewhere, and it's interesting to see how AI changed the way we work, right, and compared with the previous years. I know that at Brizy is a huge leverage because many agencies tend to use our AI layer to generate more page sections, content, things like this faster, right? So this cuts a lot in the early production time, and it helps them be more productive. But it's interesting to find out more from you guys. Vito?
So from our side, we threw our hat into the AI ring as well over the past few weeks with Adarim AI. And this is after, if I give a bit of context, 5 years ago, if you remember Brizy, we built the first implementation of AI into WordPress back in the day with Bertha at the time. And it took out really, really nicely. And then ChatGPT came out and squashed us like the bug that we were back then. And there's a lot of learnings, but also it kind of connects to how I waited for a true use case, a useful thing, not just like you're saying, throw the .ai and make sure you have the domain, but actually something that can impact people's lives and throughout the day to day. I was waiting for the technology to catch up with an idea that I had, and now it's very exciting to have this out with the inner circle. And our focus has always been on the feedback cycles, and I think Alex mentioned this as well. On the delivery side, what are the things that take the longest to actually do? Is not the work, especially with Brizy and with AI in the space. It makes it super effective to do the work, and then really what you end up is with an increase of between 500 to 700% in the delivery time, just because of client communications and one side waiting for the other side, and all talking about this. Literally 5 to 7x of creation is collaboration. and that has always been our main focus, empowering human to human communication through Adarim for years. But with this, we took the 7.5 million communications anonymized that we've gathered from freelancers to Fortune 500 companies over the past few years, and trained a team that sits on the other side of this queue. And that means that instead of needing to wait for the QA person to come in and look at the website based on our own standards, and websites are always dynamic, and every time something changes, and especially when you're doing client work, all websites are kind of the same, but a little different as well, and so we've created a team that comes in and reviews the work from all kinds of different perspectives. And that's one aspect of it, of how we're trying to help people in Q4 as well, to make sure that they can actually deliver way, way quicker, because you don't have those huge cycles compared to any other system that is out there, really. But then we also kind of looked at it from a more granular perspective. I think a lot of people can connect to, which is those vague, annoying messages that you get from clients. Is like, I don't know about this one, or make it pop, or those kind of standardized messages sometimes we get, that there's nothing to do apart from just like doing this, and then coming back to the client. Okay, I don't really know what you mean. Maybe we should get on a call, or maybe you mean this, maybe you mean that, and do this clarification cycle that on average we know takes a week. And in fact, when we went through the data earlier this year to look at the email communications, we found that 68% of all creative communications that are done via email are too vague to action in the first shot, and they have to have someone coming in and kind of like have
follow up,
send me a screenshot, or which are you on your phone, and which let's get on a call, and all this nonsense, And so what we did is we've created a clarification agent that basically comes in at real time when the client leaves the vague message that says something like, I don't know about this. Claro, like Grammarly checks for grammar, Claro checks for clarity, and steps in real time and says like, Dimi, this is a little too vague. Maybe you meant this, maybe you meant that. So the client not only can give you the clarity, but what we saw, which was a surprise, that even if the first few comments were a little vague, it trained them. And so the later comments are now a lot more in line, because they can see in real time what good looks like when they're leaving feedback on the work. So this, according to the stats, has brought it down from 69% to 3.5% of tasks that you can't action. And yeah, that's my contribution to both AI and Q4 for this quarter. But it's definitely been a push to make it all happen as we started this quarter, because there's a lot of stuff happening from a SaaS perspective as well. A lot of people are buying during this time, so it was a squeeze in Q3, and now it's the launch period, which is even more challenging.
Nikolai?
Yep. About AI.
Yes.
We are so happy you introduced AI in Brizy, and you can make very fast prototypes in VRs, and you can show to the client one way or another. We wait for an update when you can go to old Brizy website, or if you already built it, so you can change only one section or other sections.
This is actually what we're working on right now. We are working on a Gen AI.
I feel you working on this, because it's very, very powerful, and it will help much faster. You're just changing, like Vito said. Here, I need a change only on this section, only this one, and you ready.
We can do actually. It would be excellent to do a webinar on AI only. I have some very strong opinions about it, and I'm sure everyone here has some strong opinions about it. And it will be something very interesting. There are a couple of problems in website building with AI that probably this is not the space to go into. But yes, we are working on a Gen AI, very very interesting, that will let you create and modify things via AI.
We should talk. There's something we can do there once you guys get there for sure. There's a cool integration.
Also on a migration tool that I think migration and all the websites, it's something that we're only considering making new websites, but all websites that are old, needs a modern path, basically, and this is part of our. Enough
Amazing.
about what we're building, because this is not a Brizy webinar. Go on.
No, this is very curious. You see, the audience here is also building on Brizy. I am not sure if they'll just sitting around and not knowing about Brizy. And this feature, it's very. Oh, I need to know more. And yeah, it's very good. You opened this, and we will be waiting to check and have it, because
Yeah, the main idea is to like Vito said, is to give the tools or assistance to basically help you create websites, not even faster and more efficient, but better websites, right? Because
Right.
sometimes better is very changes from day to day. Better is very relative, and I think we're on the way to build something very, very cool. I'll email you, Vito, after with a demo when we'll have it in Q1.
me too,
Alex,
please. Me
please
too.
tell us a bit about AI in your company. How are you leveraging it? Give us a bit of your peace of mind about AI.
Of course, there are many ways it impacted us. Like I think every agency and every business, modern business, I totally agree with Vito. It first of all fosters collaboration beyond what it does in its solving tasks for individuals. It fosters collaboration across individuals, across agency and partners and clients, and it speeds up all those processes. It reduces delivery time, it reduces friction, reduces feedback loops, and I think that was the biggest accelerator that we saw. But a more hidden effect that we saw, and we thought that it would go negatively first. We thought it would make people lazy, and that is the effect because it solves your task. It does kind of have the potential of making people lazy. But what we had the pleasure of noticing is that for our best people, for our high performers, it actually gave them a way to become even more ambitious,
Better,
to do
yeah.
even more, to see even further of what they can achieve themselves and become a better version of themselves. So it actually helped us shift our mindset, especially for our top performers. It's super enabler. And it's getting out of this like task-based mindset that a lot of agencies are stuck in into more outcome-based mindset. So that was the big change for us.
Makes perfect sense, and what this is something of a premiere. What I'm telling you, we are trying this pilot project inside Brizy as a company. We have Friday AI. So on Friday we work on AI. Everyone learns AI, especially in the development department, and we already are leveraging AI in all sorts of parts of the business. Code review, for example, is done primarily by AI. But I can agree a lot. Can't even agree more about what you said, Alex, because smart people, or the people that actually, it basically from two hands, you one of a sudden get 10 hands to do more things more efficient, and so on and so forth. So it's I think it's something that this pilot project that we have in Brizy right now with Friday AI, I think it's something that can be we'll have more data as we move along, because it's something very early, but it's something that I would recommend.
Very cool.
And even those two hands, you're using them now. You can use them to do brain surgery, while before you had to clean the room. Now you can do brain surgery with them.
Exactly. Okay, let's get back to agencies a bit, because we AI. This is very sexy. We should do a webinar only on this. System that work. How do you stay in control when demand spikes? I think we've covered this in a sense or another, right? Do you rely more on the processes, people, or tools doing peak load? I know that people are critical for quality, at least from my view, but tools usually absorb the pressure, right? I mean, if you have the right tools to do the job, it can be less stressful. What do you think, Vito?
100%. Tools are magical, has always been since we were monkeys, and picked them up for the first time. They allow us to leverage way beyond what we're capable in every aspect of our lives. So when it comes to the delivery and the process itself, there's people like us that wake up every morning for years thinking of how to make our users' lives better and how to build stuff that makes sense for their days and for their workflows, so that the user does, and it's in every aspect of our lives, so that we don't need to think about this and we just pick it off of the shelf, you know. And so especially in the world of or the new world of AI, there's so many opportunities to find tools that will give you leverage, but it's also a bit of challenge to figure out how to find the signal from the noise and not waste your time on and too many experiments, especially when you're at peak time and performance is a lot to be desired. So what I would suggest, especially because I haven't run an agency in the world of AI, but if it was today, really the way that I would approach this is spend a little bit trying to figure out what are the things that other people do to leverage more out of their day, especially when you're busy. Half an hour spent today will free up sometimes 5 hours this week, you know, on something that you were just meant to do. And so there's definitely importance to keep staying in the loop and making sure that that you give yourself and your team the tooling that is at the forefront to allow them to perform better, to win the race. But going back to how you described it, Dimi, I think that at this time resilience is key. And resilience, while you can have very good systems, or maybe that's the opportunity through stress testing to find where the breakage is in the system, but resilience through this time is only on the back of humans. And so so no matter if you have the good AI tool or the right system in place, when there's more work than what you can accomplish, it all comes down to the individuals that are willing to step up or lean in and make sure that we get it done, basically.
And a lot of times it doesn't work, and you need to push it until it works. So
it works, yeah.
So I think it's you're right. I think I can't remember exactly who in what interview I saw that that resilience is one of the better traits for a business to succeed, or for a founder to actually succeed, because you are more failures than successes sometimes, and in order to find those successes you need to fail a lot. Nikolai,
yes,
tell me, processes, people, or tools during peak work, peak load.
I read here Jonathan
Yes.
message. If you are clever, you can do things in with Brizy, WordPress Brizy or Brizy Cloud, and that's magic. And I agree with this. For example, 3 years ago, when we needed to make a big website, so 3 years, and a big agency here in our country cannot make the website for this big organization, and they asked us, are you able to do it? It's the end of a year, we need to do it, and we had the right tool. It's the Brizy, and we know, okay, we don't need the HTML, CSS, we don't need much testing, we don't need to work with PHP or something. We have the right tool to do this job, and we did it in 1 month and 15 days, I think, to deliver something what another agency cannot do it in 3 years. So this is and now Brizy is even better, and with AI you will be able to do it much faster, much easier. So Brizy is one of the tools what helps us when it comes to building our websites. The same approach we take with building ERP systems. This is a big system what other companies use to manage their people, manage their things. So we build system for them using also AI to help them systematize or digitalize all the processes there. So AI becomes a very crucial part, but not just AI, but the right tools. So Brizy, back then, and even right now, you don't need AI. You can build it like AI, and it's more quality and more stable approach of building websites. Even without Brizy AI, you can build amazing websites faster. So this helps.
Thank you, Nikolai. Alex, I realize that tools are the answer here. So tell us about tools.
I don't think my answer will be about tools, though.
Okay, sorry then.
It is a bit, but again, we're 100% services. So most of our value is delivered through people. But of course, we have a lot of internal processes that we have to look at. And I think there's two sides of when we say demand spikes. There's two sides of it. There's the proactive part. How do you treat that demand spike? How do you prepare for it? Because it will happen eventually. And I think that the proactive part definitely involves all the processes that you have to get ready with, and that those processes can be definitely enabled and improved by tools, and they should be. I mean, once you see a process, the next step is to ask yourself, how do I automate it? And there are processes you set in place for when demand spikes. That's the proactive part. But the reactive part, when demand actually spikes, it might take you by surprise or not. When you're not prepared, I think your process foundation, of course, solves a lot of that. So if you have ways that your project managers, your account managers deal with that demand spiking, your team, your internal operations, that's very important. But the most important part for me in Rachel is people, because it's all about communication. So when demand spikes, we always, if we see a problem coming up, we try to have an honest conversation with the team, with the client. Hey, we have this issue coming up. It might not be delivered. Can we compromise? Can we push it 2 days? Can we do something like that?
Mhm.
It's better to have that honest conversation with everyone than knowing you're going to something that might fail. Of course, this should also have a process behind it on how you see these situations coming up. But I think it's when the reactive part is about the people and the culture.
Yes, I
The
agree.
the
Without
proactive
people,
part,
you're
yeah,
not doing anything.
the proactive part is about the tools on automating the processes. That's my view on how we work, at least.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Perfect. How do you guys balance customization and speed in client projects? Um, uh, what we're seeing from our side is the agencies we see thriving um, sort of use a customization on rail model in a sense, uh, specifically to website building, because this is the space we're operating in. They start with a strong with a sort of templating component and a component library, and customize only some parts just to move everything and do everything faster. But I would love how to find out how this works on
Yep.
your side.
For example, in our case, we offer templates for our clients. We have some templates built in Brizy, so we already have them, and we can launch in like a couple of hours to present a prototype for them.
So it's
We just change,
basically, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
basically change the text and the images, and the client sees their website in real time. Like, this is
Mhm.
how it can be, and it's a cheaper version, but the effective one. We tested with ads. We see, okay, this type of template, it works. Sometimes they want some customization, and customization costs, and we need to communicate this for the client. Okay, if you want the template, it is one cost. If you want changes to specific things there, you need to agree on the cost, like $100 for a section, or $250, depends on the complexity. And they clients will have a feeling, okay, should I go with bigger budgets and more things, or the templates is enough? Sometimes we ask for them to give us the example of a website they like, so we can understand what type of styles they need, and it predicts like what we can build, and even what we can generate if we will generate something with AI in a specific style the client will need. So this is how we approach this customization and speed.
Awesome. Vito, I know that you've run agencies in the past, and you are. If you had to recommend one setup to a small agency that is trying to scale, what would that be? What would it be?
Well, you need something that will take care of the creation and something that can take care of the delivery across the two elements. I think there's a good match here. If I can toot our own horns here,
Yes, please.
Dimi, between the two systems, basically a system that will help you build really fast and Brizy AI. Even when you showed it to me in the first versions, it blew my mind. To see how it could do that. And with Adarim, you basically get the entire workflow, all the feedback cycles, all of this you were Nikolai was talking about, having these discovery questions with the client. We actually have it in a click of a button there, with the inspiration websites and everything in between. So one that to take care of the feedback and workflow, and one to take care of the creation. And I think that this is the future stack of all agencies, because and even more, as soon as they both can talk to each other, that's when real magic is going to come into here.
Nice.
Okay.
Hey, beautiful.
I'm gonna mute for a second.
Yeah. It's a very good point, Vito. Just mute for a second. Welcome the new founder of
New designer, new.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very good point what Vito said. I maybe I would put, if I were to add something, I would add Alex into the mix, in a sense, right? Because in order to scale, maybe you need the new leads, or a better reach, or a better presence in across the web. So this component of growth, right, has built into it, because Vito already assumed, in a sense, that clients are coming in, which is perfectly fine. Maybe they do, but most of the times, and I saw a question that will answer shortly. Most of the times, when they're small and starting, leads are hard to come by. Let's call it, especially in this space where it's a huge competition, right? So, Alex, what do you think about it?
Yeah, of course. I think I would add, because you do have to scale creation and delivery, as Vito said, but you also have to align it with sales, because if you're not doing sales well and you are doing creation and delivery well, even with automations, you're still paying some salaries to some good people handling those processes in a way. And I think that you need to have your sales engine, growth engine, marketing engine, call it whatever you like, to bring those leads in. And at the point when you're small, you can bring one client and you'll have the profits, and that will keep you going for another 6 months. But once you want to scale, you need to have predictability in that income flow. So actually building that predictable engine in a way that is profitable across the funnel, at least for a people company, for if you're in the still people company, is a balancing act in itself. So I think you have to figure out how to scale that initial part too, because it's not just quantitative. It's not just the number of clients, the budget you have, but also qualitative. How good is the fit you have with these leads or clients coming in? What's the lifetime value? What's the retention? What surprises can come up? We see a lot of different behaviors depending on our client structure. So I think that actually having that in the mix, Vito would kind of complete the agency growth engine, maybe.
Yeah.
The way that I kind of look at this, and this is a good point that you're making there, Alex, for sure, says the bloodline of every business. And the vast majority of agencies rely almost completely on referrals as the mechanism for acquiring new business, which is a lot less predictable than many other marketing methods that are out there. It is only reliant on one thing: that you do a good job fast. Or two things, and I think that in a lot of time, I kind of like to look this from more. I call this the referral flywheel, and so the quicker you can actually execute high quality work, the faster you have the chances to getting into closer to this referral, and it actually shrinks in proportion the faster and with better quality you're able to deliver. And so there's definitely a metric that you can start tracking there and you can see a direct correlation between if we're able to deliver faster. First of all, we give ourselves more swings for more opportunities to get more referrals, and very quickly the pipeline gets full. So I always kind of try to lead with that. Because I was a bootstrapped agency, we grew to like the 15 folks on the back of all right, I'm just going to stretch myself to 150% capacity, and then hire one more person and rinse and repeat. And it was always just on the back of just do good work, and they just keep coming.
I mean, good work is always needs to be at the front of what you're doing, and this this will definitely help. I realized that between the four of us, we can start an agency, right? We have the promotion and the promocrat, we have the tools, and we have the know-how. So,
or a rock band. You're also
or a
in
rock band, yes. The problem is that I'm playing guitar classical, so we're two guitars. I don't know what Alex and Nikolai play, but
Piano here.
Yeah.
piano. Okay, so we need drums or something. Guys, we're 50 minutes in. I would love to extend this to hours because I probably think we can talk this forever. Let me put some questions here on the screen. There are a couple of questions I saw at the beginning, and this speaks, I think, to these smaller agencies that are just starting out, right? And I'm a one-man agency, but it's been a struggle finding work. I work mostly with small businesses and non-profits, but they've cut back drastically due to economic circumstances. What do you say, Vito? How would be the smart way to start small? I think you've covered this a bit, right? With
Yeah, building the backlog is most important asset that you can build for the longevity there, and regardless of like care plans and things like this. But when it comes to generating more projects on the go, this was the biggest asset that we've had for sure. And we just took everything that the client ever said and made a note, and that just builds up really fast because people get inspired if you work with them and you collaborate with them effectively. They get inspired very easily to come up with a bunch of other ideas to bring into the table. So we don't have, let's say the person doesn't have it right now, that's fair enough. Call some of the clients and see what's going on there. Now, also, he was mentioning what happens if they stop they don't have projects or anything like that right now. They also have friends. So if we're at that stage that this is really all we need to sustain is one person, it's not a lot, And so I always took that perspective that I cannot blame the entire economy for me not being able to provide for myself, so there's always one business that needs a website. It's just a matter of working a little harder maybe during times like this to find them.
Nikolai, how was your first? Thank you, Vito. Very great insight. Nikolai, how was when you started? How did you approach? Of course, back in 2009, it was a bit of a different space. But
still, it's working. The strategy I used back then and I'm using right now, and right now I'm not using because it will bring me more clients, and the type of clients it will bring, it's not relevant right now anymore. But if I will be right now in his position, I will go to different events where my clients will be. For sure, somebody will struggle with something. They need a fix to their website. They may need some social media things. They may need some help in other ways. And if you say, and you go to different events and people see you, it will bring trust and it will bring the knowledge, and they will see you are a professional. You can say, he mentioned he worked already with some organization, and it will help him a lot. So you need to find the right events for you. And if you are one-man show, it means you will take small jobs, and it's perfectly for you. You can take these jobs. In my case, I need to go for a bigger events or more complicated one for where I can find the right clients for our business. And I know Dimi is also going to different events, and he connects with his potential.
I do exactly, and it works. Vito can relate because we're meeting at similar events. We're catering to the same different tools, but the same ICP, let's call it. I can of course the events we're going on, it's are at a different scale, different clients, but it speaks to the same thing you said, Nikolai, because you can go to different events or smaller events based on your expertise or on your field. What I've learned, sort of painfully in a way, is that in our case, for example, it's a trust and relationship networking building in time. So if you're going to an event today and you expect to have 10 projects next week, just forget about it, because the expectations are not correct. So it's going to the events, putting your name out there, creating the network to eventually get the opportunity to prove yourself that you are okay, that you're good, that your tool does the job. And when you get that,
we lost Dimi.
You'll get the referrals and so on and so forth. So it makes perfect sense. Alex, do you think you can contribute something here to?
Yeah, I will be quick. I will just confirm that, and the chat is even confirming that it's events, it's your personal network, current clients, friends, and it's the broader topic of networking. So the best, I wouldn't say it's bulletproof, but it's probably the best strategy you can have as a solo founder or freelancer is going out, doing networking, events, and various other contexts, and just putting yourself out there. There will be people that have problems, that have challenges. And I would add something that I've had a personal lesson. Times of hardship are very big opportunities for small players, for underdogs.
Right.
Yes.
When the pandemic come, we just lost half of our revenue overnight. That was the first thing. But we doubled in revenue that year, because all the big clients were renouncing their big agencies, the expensive agencies. They were going down market for agencies and looking for some new blood, some new fresh perspective on how to deal with this new economic situation. So for underdogs, times of hardship are opportunities, I think.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good one.
Sounds like the subtitle of this webinar. We'll put it there. Underdogs will. A lot of questions on AI, or questions, or maybe statements. AI will be changing everything. Well, not really everything, but it will change a lot. And what I find, and you'll tell me, guys, if what you think, is that I don't like this idea of you tell AI and AI gives it to you, because in reality it doesn't really work like that. I mean, it's there is this bubble, I think, created around the AI, which is a bit unrealistic, because at least in website building, because this is what I know, there are some major problems that we're trying to solve right now, but there are some major problems of context on how you prompt everything to happen, and you start to write novels and novels to change something on that damn page. It will change a lot, and it changed a lot already, but I don't think it will change everything. Maybe
not that fast. Yeah,
or at least not that fast. That's absolutely correct. Jonathan, I often use AI to help interpret and translate client emails. Yes, that's correct. But if you'll be using Gatarim's Clearo AI agent, that will do the trick directly inside your. But everyone uses AI to do this, right? So, Michelle, I'd love a webinar on Brizy. Michelle will do that, of course. We have some done already, but we'll do that and present the new vision we are working on. Actually, this is a very good idea. I'll put it together. Yes, AI webinar. I concur. Everyone agrees. We'll do an AI webinar. Maybe we'll have our friends here invited as well to talk around AI.
Yes, and showcase some work we have done.
Maybe
showcase some work, exactly.
Yeah, or having a webinar directly with an AI bot as a speaker. Maybe
all of us. Yeah, like avatars.
We can do that as well. I think this will be a very cool idea to showcase everything. Maybe Vito, you can come and show us how your agents work, and this would be a very nice idea. I'll think about it, put it together.
Awesome.
We'll maybe create it together. Let me see. I'm not using Brizy at the present, but who knows what I'll use tomorrow. Dr. Andrew, yes, exactly. Dr. Andrew, come to Brizy. There is a trial. Just to take it for a spin, see how it works. We have from Jonathan, success has a way of creating more success. I think that's very true in a sense, Jonathan. A small success opens the door to the next and builds momentum as you move forward.
Yeah,
Uh,
can I mention for Andrew? He's
yes,
not using right now. For example, right now it's a lot of tools with AI. What we saw with our team when so many tools appeared, we kind of get scared, like, "Hey, we are losing behind all the tools." But I remember even first days of Brizy, I was also like skeptical. Maybe even if I know you. Should I try? Should I not? I created an account. I didn't put so much effort to learn it, but after a couple of months, I decided, no, I need to make some decision and learn it. And the same is right now. You should try it. You are not on this webinar just like spending your time and learning about this. You should try a new tool and see by yourself how it can change. We have hundreds of websites on Brizy, but we made this decision after learning a little bit of this. So I encourage you to try it.
thank you very much, Nikolai. Let's guys, let's end with this one because I think it's maybe everyone a bit of I don't know, take a couple of seconds just to speak around success. Success has a way to create more success. A small success opens the door to the next and builds momentum as you move forward. I think we've experienced this ourselves, and somehow this is true, right, Vito, Alex, Nikolai? Somehow, if you're pushing hard enough, if you're because you can't skip the work. The work needs to be done. And
Yes.
if you are doing honestly, this is how I operate. If I'm doing my best, and I do it honestly and do the best I can and try to figure out the best solution for our partners, clients, for the team, for me, for my life, for my family, whatever. I know that I can sleep better at night, that I did the best job. And if I have small success in one place, it tends to compound somehow. I'm not sure what laws work there, upstairs, downstairs, somewhere. There are some laws that bring this together. Please, just a couple of words on this and close the table, and then we wrap it up. Vito.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that the momentum is the key word in this sentence for sure, and that's where we're describing here. Consistency over time. That's how you win anything, and as long as we enjoy what we're doing, then success is almost guaranteed at that point. It's just a matter of just keeping at it. Yeah, because it does compound. I think that showing up is a good example of this. As you were saying, and the same thing for the events that we were talking about previously. Everything that you do, nothing is going to happen like this. It's just something that needs to be built brick by brick. Email by email, client by client, hire by hire, and we all get there. Even though we're all just making this shit up as it goes along.
That's correct. Yeah, this is a very good preface to put in front of it. We don't know everything. We just sometimes we invent something and see if it works. It doesn't work. Invent
Try a
something
bunch.
else. Yeah,
Yeah, try
exactly.
a bunch. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Nikolai.
Yes. What we learned so far in these 16 years of experience is to deliver for the clients the good work. You have to have the right attitude, not just for money, for projects, for all experience, but to deliver what it's good for them. Not just like, yes, he desires, let's do it. He wants, let's do it. On our no list is also something what is not helpful for them. He wants from us this one, and we know for his business is not healthy and it's not wisely to do it. So we encourage him not to do it, or go to a cheaper version or a different one, or try Brizy by yourself. So build by yourself a Brizy website, not going to us and spend thousands of dollars on your small business. And if you allow, I will say from the Bible a verse, very interesting one, especially late at night. It is useless for you to work so hard from early morning until the late at night. So right now we are working at night. If it's useless if it's not good, it's not just for the people who are working. And this is why even Alex mentioned we go work with the people, we work with clients. It's a life behind them. So they need our services for feeding their family, for growing their business. So this is what we want to help them with the tools, with the team, with the knowledge, and this is what we want to do.
Thank you
This
very
is
much,
success.
Nikolai. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything that I said, and I believe a lot in like the positive flywheel that was introduced here, like all the success you're doing, builds more momentum, all the success stories. I think it's really important that there comes a time, and I've seen it on my in my own company, that you don't only have to look at what the positive that you're building, but also trying to maintain the reputation that you've gained.
Right.
Because you know that saying, the harder you are, the harder you fall. The bigger you are, the harder you fall. So I think that success must also come with another quote from a superhero movie, with great responsibility to what your current position is. And actually don't just look at the wins that you're doing, the successful projects. Build processes for them, build knowledge, share it with the world. Take that responsibility of being the player that takes that success beyond the money that you made with the project and the growth that you're having. I think success is also about proving that your reputation is worth it.
Right.
Excellent. Excellent note to end our
Thank you,
nice
Alex.
conversation here. Let me just bring up on the stage my presentation. I have a slide here with some freebies, some exclusive offers sort of for our community here. I very fast we'll be giving some freebies and some discounts in our systems. If you are asking why you're seeing agency designs here, there is a perfect explanation for this. Our friend Ben could not make it tonight and was replaced by Alex from Promocrat, and we couldn't get a chance to add something from Promocrat, but I promise you that in the email we'll include something from Promocrat as well. And because Ben couldn't make it tonight, he apologized and offered a couple of premium pre-made templates from his library to our attendees here, and we'll send them all by email. So I will not go bullet point by bullet point, but we'll send an email with everything. We have this great promotion here on Black Friday at Brizy. $1 per website. It's something amazing, and it will be available to the public only, of course, on Black Friday. But we'll send you this promotion faster, earlier. Atarim and his team will offer you some AI to play with, some credits to play with their agents. It's perfect. And Nikolai, some discounts on consultation if you want to grow your agency, or if you want to let them help you with your agency efforts. Guys, this was it. That wraps it up. The doom quarter, as we name it. If you made it this far, congratulations. You probably have the, how do you call it, the stamina to survive this Q4. Huge thank you for our panelists for being brutally honest in some senses, in some ways, and sharing strategies and some of their wisdom that actually work in the real world. And if there is one thing I hope everyone takes away from today, is the agency don't need more chaos. Of course, they need leverage tools, better processes, and smarter tools, and build the websites that you build for yourselves, or work with your clients and build the relationships and the work. Do it honestly and do it with passion, and success, as we mentioned, will compound and will create bigger success. Thanks for joining us. Stay sharp, and good luck with the Doom quarter. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.